Here's 2 reasons why you're not becoming a better wrestler. You're training with the same people, and you're not training in the off-season. I'm Pat Lugo, 2-time Florida State champ, multiple-time Division I All-American for the University of Iowa, and I want to be the first to invite you and your family to this year's Miami Hawks wrestling event. This summer, June 6th through 9th, we'll be hosting a wrestling camp and tournament at the Miccosukee Resort in Miami, Florida. Our event will have over 10 full-size wrestling mats with some of the best coaches and athletes in the nation. We also have a big announcement coming soon, so follow the page so you don't miss out, and click the link in the bio to register.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy Ricky Cheese on the very first episode of our new podcast, Grinding for Greatness, and we have a very special guest. I would not like to have anybody other than this guy for the very first episode. We've got the University of Iowa and South Dade High School's Pat Lugo. Pat, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I respect everything you do. I love this podcast. This is my second time on this podcast, or third, and every time I've been on, it's been awesome. So thanks. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Actually, you were on the Ricky Cheese Show, which is a show for our Facebook page, but you're the very first guest on the actual podcast. So now we have an actual podcast, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to doing more episodes, but very happy to have you as the first. So I'm going to jump right into it, man. For those that are living under a rock and don't know who Pat Lugo is, if you're any kind of wrestling fan, you know exactly who he is. Or for any of those newer people to wrestling, let me just explain to you who this guy is. He's a state champion. He's a multiple-time All-American, Division I. He's a Big Ten champ. He started at Edinboro. He went to Iowa for his last 2 years, trained for Tom and Terry Brands. The guy's done everything there is to do, freestyle, Greco, folk style. The guy's the real deal. But he's just a good dude. I've known Pat since he's probably 5 or 6 years old, when him and his brother Ozzy were coming up, and it was with Downright, correct? It wasn't even Gladiator back then.
Yeah, it was Downright. That's the first club we had. Didn't work out with the business we're working with. Yeah, but it was definitely like a we had to make some learning curves as we grew in the business, and I think Gladiator was a good fit, especially for Coach Duck and the rest of the crew, and it kind of stuck. So it's awesome.
For sure. So, obviously you had an amazing high school career, winning state titles and national titles and pretty much everything there is to win. How instrumental was Coach Duck and Coach Balmaceda in your life?
Just when I hear their names, I feel like those guys are. I don't think wrestling coach when I hear their names. I think more of like a mentor, more like a father figure, more like a kind of like a role model. Those guys are just awesome, off and on the mat, and they are what every athlete wants as a coach. They will help you get through this thing that we call life, and they help you through the sport of wrestling, and I think that's something that I look forward to doing in the future. Just touching the lives of individuals. They really change lives. Like it's kind of like they're heroes. So calling them a wrestling coach is kind of like not giving them enough credit. To me. So yeah, that's how I feel towards those guys.
Damn, man, that's amazing. Holy shit, I'm at a loss for words, man. You got my heart just got touched, man.
Yeah.
Freaking Pat Lugo just touched my heart talking about Coach B and Coach Duck. That's crazy. And both are in the Hall of Fame, man. Again, if you're living under a rock, maybe you don't know who they are, but everybody knows them. And it's really true what you said. They do touch lives because, year after year after year after year, I see these kids that wouldn't have had anything, or most likely may not have gone to college. And these kids are going to college. They're good human beings. They're not just good athletes. These guys are developing good human beings. And that's the true success of a coach, not just winning state titles, but developing good kids, and that's exactly what they've done over at South Dade, and they continue to do it. All right, so after high school, you decide on Edinboro. Why Edinboro?
So when I was looking for uh, visits my senior year of high school, I Edinboro came up. Well, actually, at the national tournament, they just got third that year, and the guys around my weight class was Mitchell Port, Dave Happett, AJ Shaw, and these guys were All Americans, national finalists.
Hmm.
Whatever, like the best training partners you could ask for. Right out of coming out of high school. So going to Edinboro was a no-brainer to me. I had a few other options. A lot of people told me like, "Yo, there's nothing to do out there," and I just kept saying like, "I'm not going out there to do anything else besides wrestle." Like yeah, I'm a college student, but and then I want to learn as I try to achieve my goals, but I'm here to wrestle. You know what I mean? Like I came here to wrestle, so it
Yep.
didn't matter about the community. The community, the people were awesome. The people were, good people, and I guess like a lot of people just gave me, or I don't think it was their like on purpose. They were trying to like guide me to a way that was like, yo, what are you gonna do out there? It's the middle of nowhere. And I was like, I came to wrestle, man. I want to get better. So that's the
Hmm.
reason why I went to Edinboro, and I loved my 2 years there. I'm still in touch with friends that I made from there. Um, so it was an awesome experience, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, and then the following year, so it would have been your second year at Edinboro. Your brother Ozzy, he signed with Edinboro, and he went there for a year, right?
Yeah, he was there for a year. We're roommates in the dorm, and it was kind of funny. It's kind of like reminiscent from where we used to share rooms when we were younger, like growing up. And it was good. I liked it. He was there. It kind of gave me more of that home feeling,
Yeah,
because
of
he was there, my brother. So
course.
it was it was good. But that was the only year we were there together, and that was his first and last year there. And he decided to go his own route in life, and I decided
Yeah.
to go to Iowa. So it was
You
awesome,
know,
good experience.
yeah, and you know what? Being brothers, I'm sure having him up there was awesome. But like you said, he's his own person. He had to make his own decision where he wanted to go, what path he wanted to go. You chose your path. Both of you turned out fine, so I guess everything worked out well. So now you head over to Iowa. So first of all, let's talk about the reason you left Edinboro. I don't know the reason, but I have to think if I were to guess, I would say you probably outgrew the room in a very short time. Am I kind of on track with that or completely off base?
Yeah, I would say a little on track. I would, yeah. The competition in the room, and I don't want to like downplay Edinboro at the time. It was just wasn't where I wanted it to be,
Okay.
and I love those guys, and and we had a great team. We had a great team. So like after I left, the reason why I left was because I found out that my the head coach at the time was looking for another job. So I was like, I want to improve my situation just like he's trying to improve his situation. So that's why I kind of went with. Um, and like I said, at the time, we had a great team. The following year after I left, those guys spread out. Like Corbin Myers went to Virginia Tech, Sean Russell went to Minnesota, Dakota Gill went to Oklahoma State. And you look back at it, and all these guys that were at Edinboro, they all American at different schools. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying that these different schools made them all Americans. I'm saying that at the time we had a great team.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
that's me giving credit to the coaching staff at Edinboro at the time. And so yeah, that's kind of the reason why I wanted to like just go my own route. Yeah, my coach was looking for a better position, and I wanted to do the same for myself, and that's how that's how Edinboro. I mean, that's how Iowa came into the picture, and a few other schools, but I think Iowa was definitely the best fit for me.
Yeah, and who was the coach at the time at Edinboro? Flynn.
Yeah, Tim Flynn was the head coach, Cliff Moore assistant, and Mitchell Port was the head assistant.
Yeah, when I tell you what, Edinboro, when I think Edinboro, obviously I think Port because he was great, but 2006 national champ Gregor Gillespie. Uh,
Yeah, he's
he,
nasty, man. He's awesome. He
yes,
came down
sir.
a few times down there, and we wrestled, and there like it was just me and him in the room. like in the Edinboro wrestling room. And if you ever been in there, it's literally like in the basement. It's like in the dungeon, like underneath the gym. And me and him are wrestling in there, and it's just me and him, and we're just wrestling for 30, 40 minutes straight. And I remember him being on top of me. He's a great wrestler on top. And I was just on bottom for like 20, 30 minutes trying to get out. And it's like, and it's, just stuff like that. Is that those are the things I think of when I think of Edinboro. It's like, I don't think of like winning any matches. I think of more like the experience I've had with the guys on the team, the bus rides and the breakfast after a hard workout, like those are things I remember. Like those are things that really, really matter to me. And you kind of touched on it in the beginning of this interview. It's like not really about the results you get. It's about what kind of person you're, becoming along on this journey.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it sounds like you have some really great memories from Edinboro, and that's awesome to hear. I'm glad you had a great experience there. But you like you said, you wanted to look for the best situation for yourself, just like Flynn did for him. Nobody can fault you for that. And you land in Iowa. So, I'm real curious to hear about, your time in Iowa. Let me ask you this first. Tom and Terry Brands, man, what kind of guys are they, man? Like, everyone, we see them on TV, we hear their interviews, but who are they, man? Like, what are they really fucking about?
When I hear Tom and Terry Brands, the first word that pops up is passion in my head. And like a lot of people just think they know how what kind of people they are because they watch them from a TV screen or a mobile phone. Right. Like you gotta know. The only way you know if you're here every day in and out, and you hear these guys talk before practice, and it's motivating. It's love. It's just love. Love is the word that I can, say that would pretty much describe those guys. They're loving coaches. People might put labels on them and call them crazy or this and that, but like, what are they fighting for? They're fighting for their athletes. Mm-hmm. They're fighting for their athletes because they want them to succeed, and they do that to the extreme. And for me, as being an athlete and feeling, I would want a coach like that. I would want a coach to go, fight for me, fight with me, and that's just the type of athlete I was. So they're awesome. They're awesome on and off the mat. They're like, again, like father figures to me. It's like I pick things that I learned from them and I apply it to my life, and they are really good at getting you ready for adversity in life. And it's just awesome, man. I can't really explain it. I'm grateful. I'm just so happy I got to touch, their coaching journey, be a part of it. That's like history to me. That's like leaving like your legacy behind, it's like, mm-hmm. It's powerful. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. And it's like a beautiful thing to me. Like the kind of relationship I have with them I'm just grateful for it.
Which one do you click with most? Do you vibe more with one than the other?
So it's I've kind of gone back and forth. I feel like when I first got here, I was a little bit closer with Tom, and I'm close with both of them. But like, which one do I like? Maybe have more conversations with was Tom in the beginning, and now it's kind of like more Terry. And I don't think it's anything necessary that they change. I think I'm changing as a person.
Yeah.
Like because I'm obviously, getting older and I'm transitioning into this next chapter. So yep. I'm changing, and I think change is good, if you can, how to navigate it. But yeah, I feel like it's even. Like that's like saying that's like asking a mom like, yo, what's your favorite son? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. I love them both, and they know that, and I know they love me, and that's what it is, like it's all love.
That's the most important thing, that that they love you. And I believe that too, because, I've watched them on TV fight for a call for you, or whatever it is. What's up with the little pinky thing? Tell me about that.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah. Oh, the finger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
What's that about?
that's between me and Tom.
Yeah. What is that?
So I think I forgot one day. One day he like I was jogging. I was working out or something, and then he like tried to shake my hand to like whatever, shake my hand, and he gave me like one finger. He gave me one finger to like go like that. And I said, we need two fingers because one is not strong enough. So I went like this to him, and then we just did it at the same time, and it kind of just clicked and just stuck. So like every time I see him, I did it today. I was at wrestling practice. Every time I see him, I do that with him. And what's unique, I think, is that I have something like that with each coach. So that's how we connect. So that's mine and Tom's way of connecting. I have something that me and Daniel Dennis do. I have something that me and Bobby Telford do. And it's something as simple as a handshake that connects our relationship. It makes our relationship stronger. And like I said, that's like unique to me. That's like every time I do that, like me and him are like connecting. I don't know, like mentally, at like a split second. If I'm explaining this well.
No, I get it. It makes complete sense to me. I don't know if it makes any sense to anyone who's going to hear this, but it makes sense to me. I get it.
Yeah, I love it, and it sticks. It's there, and until the day I'm not here anymore, it's gonna be there. So.
Yeah, I saw it. Maybe it was before the Big Tens or something, but I saw it on TV. I'm like, what the fuck was he? What is that? What is he doing? I see the little fingers. I figured I would ask you about that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here listening to you mention these names, Brands, Telford, Dennis, and, I don't know if I'm going to explain this right or if it's going to make sense to you, but hearing you mention these guys, you hear these names in the past and you're like, oh man, those are big time Iowa guys. And, we're in Florida and, the average person will never have the experience that you had being around guys like that and training. You're one of the very few, probably less than 0.5%. But when I hear you talk about them, being that I know you for many, many years, it almost makes me feel like, like I'm almost like a part of that because like we consider you our hometown boy. You're Florida. You're Florida wrestling. You're Pat Lugo. You're the face of Florida wrestling. So now that you're part of that, man, it kind of connects me to it. It probably doesn't make sense to anybody, but that's how we feel anyway, or that's how I feel. But that's such a cool thing, man. So as far as, how many times did you actually get to wrestle in the Big Ten tournament?
Just two times.
Twice.
Yeah, my
Did
junior.
you win it both times or just once?
I got third my first time and first my second time.
Okay, so the year that you took third, you lost in the semis?
I forgot. I think
Who'd you lose to? Who was it to?
I think I lost to Penn State.
Okay. Tyler Berge?
Yeah, yes. I forgot his name, but yeah, him. I think that was the quarters or the semis. And I know I finished third that tournament.
Okay. Now the year that you won it, was it Sasso that you beat in the finals?
Yeah, I beat Sasso in the finals from Ohio State.
Yep. What's the mindset going into a tournament like that? The Big Ten finals. The Big Ten, obviously, toughest conference in D1, I think, anyways. So how does a coach like Brands get you prepared for that match? Like, what does he say to you before a finals match at the Big Ten?
Well, for me, I'm the type of athlete that I am. I don't need much from a coach, and I'm kind of like already in my own head in the positive way. And, every athlete's different. And I think that's what makes Tom and Terry a great coach. They don't train or talk to everybody the same because they're all different. Everyone's different. Mm-hmm. Everyone learns different, whatever. So for me, I was just something as simple as mine and Tom's handshake. That gave me the confidence and the motivation. That's all I needed. Something just like that, because I was ready to go. I was mentally, physically, spiritually ready to fight. And when I look back at that tournament, I would like to say, yeah, I took it one match at a time, but I didn't. I was focused on Sasso the whole time. Even when I was wrestling like Minnesota, like I was like, I can't lose to this kid because I got to wrestle Sasso. I got to win this tournament. That's just my mindset at that tournament. Is that like a good way to think? I don't know. It depends what kind of athlete you are at the time. So he just has a good way, especially Terry just has a passionate way of connecting with his athletes for them to mentally feel like they could run through a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in that room and you feel that energy, you can't explain it. I'm having trouble explaining it now. And I hear it and I feel it every single day. And but you just got to experience it to truly know what I'm talking.
June 6th to 9th at the Miami Hawks Wrestling event, Nosomi Pozo from the Eagle Empire and Coach Duck from the Gladiator Wrestling Club will be the first 2 coaches announced. Nosomi Pozo,
I'm a shark. I live in Deepwater.
2-time JUCO champion, 2-time NCAA champion, currently the head coach at St. Thomas University. Coach Duck, 2022 Florida National Hall of Famer, currently the head assistant coach at South Dade High School. And we got more big announcements coming soon, so make sure you follow the Florida Wrestling Room and the Miami Hawks Wrestling Club Instagram and Facebook for all updates. Click the link in the bottom to register.
So going out there in any match, whether it's the Big Ten Finals or just a duel, having legends like the Brands brothers as your coach and knowing them every day and having them train you every day and you talking to them every day and the whole Iowa mojo going on, do you have that feeling of like, man, I want to win, not just because I want to win, but I don't want to fucking let these guys down. Do you guys have that feeling about the Brands brothers?
I've had that feeling before. Like I don't want to let my team down, and I don't want to let my coaches down. But I can't think that way because then I'm not wrestling for myself. I'm wrestling to satisfy someone else.
Yeah.
And when I was on the top of my game at certain times of my career, I was wrestling because I just loved to do it. I wasn't really looking for an award. I wasn't looking for a head nod from someone,
Right.
I was doing it because I love to do this, and that right there, that's what, makes you wrestle free. When you try to wrestle to satisfy other people, you're afraid of making the mistake and then you end up making the mistake.
Right.
You gotta wrestle free, wrestle with confidence and be relaxed and explosive and aware. And there's a lot of different traits that you have to have while being a high level collegiate wrestler, and a lot of people can't do that. And it's not like riding a bike, man. It's not, you ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike for the rest of your life. You got to work on this every single day, because if you stop working on it, then it goes away. So you got to bring it back in, and that's just being mentally tough.
Yeah, for sure. So, I've talked to a bunch of guys that were good enough to go wrestle Division I. They had offers. For whatever reason, they didn't go. And a few of them had told me it was because, and when I asked them why didn't you take that opportunity? And they told me that, it's a lifestyle, it's a grind, and they wanted to just be regular college students. They wanted to enjoy that college experience. Do you think there's any truth to that? Do you feel like maybe you missed out on that college experience because everything was wrestling, or do you not even give a shit because that's what you loved anyway? So tell me a little bit about that.
So what I'm thinking of right now is the word sacrifice. A lot of people say, oh, you have to sacrifice your time to be here. And I don't necessarily agree with that because I want to be here. I want to be in the weight room or wherever. So I'm not sacrificing my time. I'm sacrificing my time if I go hang out with you, if I go to the party.
Shit.
Me. That's me sacrificing my time. So it's all about what perspective you have. What's your point of view? Like what do you want to do? What do you want from your life? So I don't feel like I missed out on anything. And that's something my dad put into my head. Like there's gonna be a time and place for everything. There's a time to go have fun. There's a time to study. there's a time to wrestle, and he taught me that at a very young age, and I'm very grateful for that. And another thing I would say is, like, you only wrestle for a short period of time in your life. It's not forever. Like, the parties, the fame, girl, whatever you want to call it, like, that was there before I was born. That's there. That's here now, and that will be here long after I'm gone. So,
yeah.
So what are you really sacrificing? You're not really sacrificing anything if you're in the weight room. What's your perspective? It's like, do you want to be a national champ? Well, you gotta love this. You know what I mean? So, like, I understand what those other athletes told you, that it's a lifestyle. It definitely is, and there's nothing wrong with with the route they choose. Everyone's different. This D1 is not for everybody, and that's okay. Not necessarily saying that D1 athletes are better. They might be better a wrestler, but they're not a better human being. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's the same.
Right.
So it's like, that's how I always thought. Even in high school, I was like, I would hear that quote, like, I gotta sacrifice my time to be here, and I was just like, no, I don't agree, because I would rather be in the weight room than at a high school party. It didn't make sense to me to, like, go to parties or hang out with a certain group if it wasn't getting me closer to where I want to be.
Yeah. You hear a lot about, and you hear this quite often, oh, my team's a family. We're not a team, we're a family, and that's our culture here. Tell me the truth about Iowa, man. What the fuck is going on in that room? Is it a family? Are you guys fucking beating the shit out of each other? What's going on in that room? Give it to us. Give it to us straight up.
I think it's both. Exactly what you said. We are beating each other up in the room, but that's what makes us a family. So it's kind of like, I look at it as like, me and my little brother would fight a lot growing up, but that just made our relationship stronger. Like, we can fight with each other, but if someone picks on him, then we're both going after that person or that bully. But yeah, it's tight. I would say that it's tight. And when you go through pain and, like, a lot of suffering with another individual, naturally your relationship with that individual is strong. So there's a lot of pain, and when I say pain, I mean, like, workouts. There's a lot of that in that room, and that's what makes the room stronger. Because you can look over to your left and right, and the guy next to you, to either side, they're feeling the same way you feel. We're in, like, we're going through this, but we're going through this together. And and then after, you go to breakfast together and just laugh about it. And it's like that right there. It's like, those are the memories. That's like the national title to me. Just being with those guys and gaining these relationships and experiencing these feelings with other beings is powerful to me.
Oh yeah. How hard is it to do that? How hard is it to maybe get, you get a little chippy in the room, smack a couple of guys around, and he's smacking you around, maybe you get into a fist fight on the mat. How hard is it to walk out that door and then, like you said, go have breakfast and just say fuck it? Is that hard to do?
No, to me it's easy. Like, it's easier. Like, it's funny. It's funny to me. I don't know, like, yeah, me and this other guy, me and Caleb Young, will fight in the room, and then we're best friends after. We were best friends before, we're best friends after. It was just a moment, that doesn't really matter. It was like, we're wrestling. People's energy, people's adrenaline spikes, and it's a part of the game. It's part of the sport. So you can't take it personal. And it's like, it is what it is. And like I said, our relationship grew because of that.
Yeah. So if you were in the streets and you were getting ready to go to battle in just a knockdown, drag out street fight, if you can name one guy on that Iowa team that you would want swinging with you, who would it be?
Are we talking athlete or coaches?
I'm talking anybody in that room. Who do you want having your back swinging alongside of you?
Terry Brands.
Terry Brands?
Yeah.
Why?
because he's passionate and his love is strong and heavy. And when you love something or someone, you do anything to protect it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Awesome.
like a mother to her, baby
Yeah.
boy.
Yep.
It's like that kind of love. So for sure.
Now, what teammate would you say?
Teammate, I don't know. I'll name someone that's not even on the lineup.
Okay.
His name's Daniel Murphy. He's a really good dude. Like he's someone that you don't see because he's not on the lineup. So, but he's like on the back end, helping the team. Like he's really a part of the team. Just a great teammate and just a good friend, and he's a hardcore dude. And I respect that. He's actually a Navy SEAL now. And
oh, really?
Yeah. So I would definitely him for sure.
Yeah, that's a badass right there.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
So what happened? He just couldn't crack the lineup?
Yeah, I mean we had some tough guys. He was more of a heavier guy. I think Caleb Young or Alex Marinelli at the time was at his weight. So
okay.
But he was a great partner for those guys. He got those.
Yeah, how important? That's what I wanted to ask you. There's a lot of guys in that room, but there's only a certain amount of starting spots. How important are those guys that will never see a starting spot? How important are they to the program?
I mean, they're just as important as the guys on the lineup, so.
Is that the truth? Is that you really feel that way?
100%. I feel that in my heart and soul because I always tell these guys, like, especially these younger guys now that are coming in, I was like, you need to have 3 training partners. You need to have a partner that you go back and forth with, a partner that gets the better of you, and a partner that you get the better of him. So a partner, so if you go head to head with this guy every day and you're not really getting your offense going, to get your offense going, you need to go with the guy that you get the better of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then that works on your offense, and then now you need to work on your defense. So you go with the guy who gets the better of you. Yep. So now you see what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
So like you get different feels, different perspectives, and you need those guys who are not necessarily on the lineup to help you, win the national title or whatever. So they are just important. They don't get the enough credit, I'm thinking of guys who helped me at the time, like Carter Happel, Zachary Axmere. These are names that I was training with day in and day out that don't see the fame, don't see or whatever, don't see the spotlight. And it's kind of harder for them because we're going through the same thing and they're not getting the results. And it's you just gotta let them know how important they are to you. And I did that. I hope I did that when I was training with those guys. And that's something that Tom and Terry put an emphasis on. It's like the guys that are not on the lineup, you guys are still a part of the team. It's like if you guys start to crack, then who was going to start to crack after? The guys on the lineup are going to start to crack.
Right.
So it's like we're all like armor. We're all like armor, and we can't have no cracks in the armor, and the shield. The whole shield has to be strong.
Yep.
So,
that's a pretty cool perspective. So yeah, I mean those guys, like you said, they're not getting the fame, they're not getting the fortune. Nobody even knows their name or who the hell they are. But they're in there grinding, like you said, they're doing everything that you're doing. And the fact that they're still doing that day after day with nothing to look forward to, they don't have to look forward to competing at the Big Tens and maybe, getting on the podium. They don't have that. They know they don't have that, and they're still doing it day after day. That speaks volumes about those guys' character, man. Holy shit. I don't know if I could do it, man. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it.
For sure. It's hard. And I think just understanding that, it's not really about the fame, the fortune, or whatever. It's really about the connection that we have, and they're still growing. It's not like they're not learning. We're all learning the same thing, but we're just getting different, I guess, credentials or whatever.
Right.
But yeah,
for sure.
I'm grateful for those guys,
Yep.
because I wouldn't be here without them.
Exactly. No, that's awesome. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you feel that way. Because everybody's got their role, and one doesn't make, the other any less important. So they played their role, and they played it the best that they could, just like you played your role the best that you could. Did the coaches treat them any differently or no?
No, no. Everyone gets treated the same when it comes to like the respect and love and
Right.
this and that. But the coaches do emphasize that they are going to give more energy to like guys on the team.
Well, of course.
Yeah, to the Spencer Lee. So they just lay it out there so there's no like animosity or any
Right.
beef. So it's like it's part of the job. It's like you said, it's about knowing your role. But everyone's treated the same, and even like some of the guys on the team might have a better relationship than someone. Some of the guys like not on the lineup will have a better relationship. So the result. That's what I'm saying. The results don't matter. It's about like what kind of person are you. Like
exactly.
Hard working, discipline, all that stuff.
Who were your boys on the team? Who'd you hang with? Who were like your best friends?
Right now, I just left breakfast with them. Alex Marinelli, Caleb Young, Jacob Warner, Jaden Ironman, Michael Kemmer, Max Mirren. Those guys they're coming down to see me when I go to Miami. So it's like, it's a real relationship when we're not even on the same team anymore, and we still have that bond.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's awesome. Like that right there is like my national title. Like the relationships I have with these guys.
Yeah. How disappointing was it that you didn't get to win a title in 2020? Because in my eyes, you were definitely gonna win it. You were number one ranked in the country, and it was stolen from you by COVID. How disappointing was that?
So I would explain how I felt during the moment when it happened. I was sad for my team. Because I looked at it like, you had 3 chances to win this tournament, like 2 chances at Edinboro and 1 last year here at Iowa. So you had chances. So don't feel sorry. Like you have no reason to feel sorry for yourself. If you want to feel sorry for someone, feel sorry for your team, because we didn't get to accomplish the team goal, and that's what made me feel down. And I look at it now, it's like, I actually just had a conversation about it with my dad yesterday. And I said, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy it happened. Like, I made peace with it a long time ago, and I love that it happened. And I don't think he understood what I was saying, because what I was trying to say was like, I love who I am today. I love the type of mindset I'm in. So if I would have won that tournament, maybe I would be somewhere else. So I'm grateful for that experience. I learned that I can get through a lot of things. Like that really broke me at the time, and I had to build myself back up, and I did. And I'm here now. And it's just adversity that God threw at me, and it made me a stronger human being.
That's awesome, man. It's amazing that you can go through something like that and have that, kind of mind frame. But I guess that's what you got from your years of, even at Edinboro and then at Iowa from those guys. You learned how to think that way.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I would add that, like that right there, that's the wrestling match. Getting over that. Like that's you being the wrestler. That's so it's not about these tournaments. It's about that this life's gonna throw adversity at you, and how are you gonna wrestle with that adversity. And I guess you can say I won that match, like against COVID, or against that experience, or against whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about what the future holds for Pat Lugo. I know you're doing some great things right now. I want to give you a chance to talk about that. Tell everybody what's going on, man. We got the Miami Hawks club. We got a big tournament that you're going to kick it off with. Tell me what's going on, man.
So I'm starting my own youth wrestling club in Miami. It's called the Miami Hawks Wrestling Club. I do not have a location right now. I'm in the process of that. I do have my first event on its way, June 6th through 9th at the Miccosukee Casino Resort. It's a wrestling camp and a wrestling tournament. It's like a 2-in-1 event. So I have a lot of opportunities from kids from different backgrounds and different demographics to join, because I want to be able to touch everybody. You know, I don't want to be able to just give to one part of Florida. I want to touch the whole state. So
yeah,
that's happening June 6th through 9th. I have some great coaches on the way. Just some guys I came up with, Michael Kemmer, Max Mirren, Austin DeSanto, just to name a few. So yeah, it's going to be a great event. I've been planning it day in and day out. I'll go to wrestling practice, come back, and get back on this computer and, you know, start planning. And it's definitely hard in its own way, but I love it. You know, it's giving me something to work towards. It's giving me just like another goal. You know, just like this. I'm working hard still. I'm still wrestling. Like, I'm just not competing no more. I'm still a wrestler. Like, I wake up every day and I fight in my head if I should get out of bed and go work out. Like, that's wrestling to me, you know?
yeah.
You know, so I'm still wrestling. Everyone's a wrestler. If you really think about it, you got that mental fight in your head. And so I'm learning how to work with computers more now. So like I'm wrestling with that, you know, and it's a learning curve, and I'm excited. And I think the future's bright, and I say that humbly, and I'm just excited for the future.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great thing. I think you're going to be surprised as far as the amount of kids that come calling to be trained by you. And if anybody wants more information on that, all you've got to do is go to the Facebook page, the Florida Wrestling Room. There's a bunch of videos, and the flyer is pinned to the top. Just click on it, or just private message me. I'll get you in touch with Pat. We'll get you all squared away. But June 6th through the 9th at the Miami Miccosukee Indian Casino. That's down in Miami, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be there. So it's going to be a first-class event. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there. I'm probably going to do a podcast from there. Somehow we'll get that done. Yeah, so Jeff, definitely check that out. Now, as far as finding a place for the club, I mean, that can't be easy, man. It's got to be hard.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, especially with like the rent prices and everything. So
yeah,
I gotta, right now, I'm just focused on this event I have coming in front of me. Once I get through that, I believe more opportunities will open for me, more doors will open for me when it comes to having my own facility is my goal. I want to have my own facility. I want to have 2 to 3 full-size wrestling mats with locker rooms and office and the weight room, and it's going to be big. I know it's not a matter of if this is going to happen, it's a matter of when. I know it will happen.
Yep.
It's the same thing as wrestling, you know. I'm working on it day in, day out, and I'm kind of manifesting it. So.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I got faith. I believe in you. If anybody out there, if you're a business owner, if you're a wrestling fanatic, and you have the ability and the means and the want, if you want to donate and help Pat out, secure rent or a facility, I'm sure he would love to hear from you. Just reach out, just email him. It's very easy. patlugo97@gmail.com. Drop him an email, get to talking with him, and there's a way you can help. So any business owners, patlugo97@gmail.com. Let's get this guy into a facility, and he's doing a good thing for the kids. And we'll help you as much as we can, Pat. I'll use my platform. We've got over 24,000 people just on the Facebook page, so we'll make it happen. We're gonna manifest it with you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
Of course,
Thank you.
of course. Anytime, man. Listen, I've been watching you since you're 5 or 6 years old, and I feel like I owe you for all the great matches that I've watched you wrestle. and just being the good dude that you are. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for coming on the very first episode of Grinding for Greatness with Ricky Cheese. For those of you that love wrestling, check out the official website, thefloridawrestlingroom.com. You're going to see the PFWR official state rankings for high school every single season. I'm getting the early preseason rankings going right now, but thefloridawrestling.com. Pat, thank you. We'll talk soon. If you need anything, just hit me up, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. I love what you're doing, and we're going to manifest everything together.
I got you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Here's 2 reasons why you're not becoming a better wrestler. You're training with the same people, and you're not training in the off-season. I'm Pat Lugo, 2-time Florida State champ, multiple-time Division I All-American for the University of Iowa, and I want to be the first to invite you and your family to this year's Miami Hawks wrestling event. This summer, June 6th through 9th, we'll be hosting a wrestling camp and tournament at the Miccosukee Resort in Miami, Florida. Our event will have over 10 full-size wrestling mats with some of the best coaches and athletes in the nation. We also have a big announcement coming soon, so follow the page so you don't miss out, and click the link in the bio to